Welcome to the 2013 Amgen Tour of California for Bicycling.com. I'm Joe Lindsay. I'm joined with Frankie Andreo, and we're here at the finish of Stage 8 in Santa Rosa, wrapping up the whole race. And Frankie, Santa Rosa always turns out really huge for this race, and obviously they came out big for this and saw a pretty entertaining finish with Peter Sagan taking the win and taking the points jersey along with it. Obviously, he didn't win 5 stages this year, but he took a couple, and seems like he came away pretty happy from this race.
Yeah, he should come away pretty happy. I mean, 5 wins last year, it's high expectations, but he still delivered and he performed and showed how quick he was by winning 2 stages. And today, at the finish in Santa Rosa, a ton of people. It was a fabulous turnout by everybody to come out and welcome the last day of the Amgen Tour of California. And part of that treat is seeing a great field sprint. That's what we saw. They were flying 40 miles an hour around those final circuits, and it was a battle between Sagan and Tyler Farrar for that points jersey, and you actually saw how fast Sagan is.
Yeah, and so you had these 2 dueling trains. You had Cannondale and Garmin kind of trying to go, one or the other over the top of each other. And in the end, with that kind of uphill sprint that they have, you have to time it very carefully and leave it late. A guy like Sagan, he's just too strong for something like that, I think, for Tyler.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we had another breakaway today. Saw Thomas de Gent get in that breakaway with Duchesne and J-Mac from Bissell. So pretty good little breakaway. It's the kind of thing you expect to happen. But back in the pack,
it was tough to get into that breakaway because in the very beginning on 101 there was groups of 7, then they get back, groups of 7 and get back. Took a while until that group of 3 finally got away, and then BMC started to go on the front to control it. After that, the sprinter teams, Cannondale mainly, started to control it, but they only built up a gap of like 3 minutes. They kept it pretty much in check.
They kept it pretty close. I think everybody in the field wanted a field sprint here today, and
I wanted a field sprint today.
Everybody wanted a field sprint today, and back in the pack, TJ Van Garderen sitting pretty in yellow. His BMC team all around him, no big deal. Pretty much a breakthrough win for him, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah. I mean, we've seen on 2 or 3 occasions where he's had the yellow jersey or come into the last day, and let's just say he's blown it. This time, far from blowing it. I mean, he extended his lead in the time trial, did a great ride on Diablo, and this is a fantastic win for Team BMC. But more importantly, it cements TJ Van Garderen as a stage race winner, and that's the big stage race win that he's been looking for.
Absolutely. And one thing that I think is interesting is the final gap was 147 to Mick Rogers in 3rd place. So we also have to call out a really nice finish by Javier Acevedo to take 3rd overall. I think that's probably the best finish by a domestic team racer here ever. But that 147 gap is also about the largest gap we've ever seen here. Tour of California GC tends to be really, really tight. So it was pretty much between TJ's form and his BMC team. It was a dominating win, even though he only took the one
Well,
stage.
if you have a time trial that has the mountaintop finish or the hilltop finish of a 1.5 miles, you're going to have time gaps. And Diablo, you're going to have time gaps. So also the wall, in Palm Springs, it seems like ages ago. Those are 3 epic climbs that are going to have time gaps. And so TJ rode superbly, and his team BMC protected him very well. Like you mentioned, Acevedo, a great one. I give a lot of props to Carter Jones for dominating the KOM jersey.
He
got his sights on it, and then it's not like he just flukely won it. I mean, he won the KOMs after that.
No, and that's the thing about Bissell is, as a Continental team, they're one of the strongest of the Continental teams, but the way that they rode that KOM competition was really professional. Carter goes out, he takes the KOM jersey early. Yeah. Then, he's not in the breakaway for a couple of days. Some other guys are starting to creep up on the competition, and Bissell sends 2 guys out on that day from Palmdale to Santa Clarita to kind of defend that jersey. Then Carter goes on the break again, soaks up more points. It was just almost a clinical display of how to win a KOM jersey.
Yeah, did a great job. And youngest rider for the Amgen Tour of California, Lawson Craddock, and this guy, he's talented. The guy can sprint, he can go uphill, time trial, does everything. So very impressive, and that's a good way for Bontrager to get on the podium.
Yeah, this is the second year that Bontrager's been in the race, and I think last year there was some grumbling about why do we have a developmental team here, but then now 2 years in a row they produced a really high overall finish and kind of had a revelation. Last year it was Joe Dombrowski, this year it was Lawson Craddock, so I think they've proved that they belong here racing with these guys.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic race, and I love the south to north course. I enjoyed it. It was good. I mean, sure, it was hot.
Yeah,
we know that, but that seems so long ago we forget about it. But overall, the course design suited a lot of different abilities, and the sprinters had a chance, the time trialists had a chance, the climbers had a chance. It was a well-rounded course, and of course, you don't need 200-kilometer stages every single time. We had a lot of over 100 miles, but the riders are what makes the race, and that's what occurred in the last few days.
Absolutely. You take a stage like that, Diablo stage was 140K, but so it wasn't long by European standards, but it produced a really exciting finish. It was really kind of an epic moment for the race to have that mountaintop finish up there, and I think that's what this race really needs more of.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
So anyway, that's the 2013 Amgen Tour of California with Frankie Andreo. I'm Joe Lindsay. Thanks for joining us.
And there's no tomorrow.
And there is no tomorrow.